Hey, hi, hello, howdy. Good evening. Let's switch that on over. Welcome on in. Thank you for the lurk, Kit Star. How are you all doing today? Good evening. I apologize for getting in here late. Late to my own stream. Posted earlier this week. Yes, I'm gonna get to start at 6 o'clock. No. I got to start at like 7:30. Had a little bit of extra overtime today with all the fun stuff in the office, pulling together some last minute refactors to a pretty significant portion of our dynamic rendering library that we're using for our front end of our application, just besides the back end renderers that we have already. I'm gonna have a little bit of a nerd out tech talk here for just a sec. No pun intended. It is actually a technology talk. But the fun stuff that actually wound up keeping me late is a neat little piece of technology that we threw together so that we can do dynamic rendering. Oh, that is a very nice rendition of Garuda Valley. I like that. What are they doing? But yeah, totally didn't get sidetracked there. The particular technology in question is something so that we can do a general DOM templating of our web services, but then use AJAX, which is asynchronous JavaScript and XML, which tends to be JSON these days, just a format of data, a way to structure it so that you can say, here's how it's all related to each other, and then send that over the wire and provide that information. DOM templating. Okay, Shadow. Welcome on in. Hello. You goof. Essentially, letting you structure the information over the wire. But hey, hi, hello, howdy, good evening. How are you, friend? It allows you to send all this information over and use a general template to say, here, apply this data to this template, and now repeat it as many times as I provide data for you to render. So if I give you 17 objects, I want you to render this 17 times in this structure so that you can define your document object model beforehand and say, here's the structure of how it needs to be rendered. Here's the structure of the data on how it's going to be filled into that, and then lets you sort of zip the two together to take the view and the model and combine them on the fly. There are libraries out there already for this kind of stuff. You talk about like Vue or React or Angular or other things like that. But it can get very heavy to use some of these types of software. Plus, you need additional sorts of compiling steps beforehand for all of this, and can add quite a bit of load time for your application. So we have a lightweight one that we wrote ourselves entirely in TypeScript. Doing well. That's nice to hear. Sounds like a nice program. Seems idiot-ish proof. Ish is indeed a keyword here. I was performing last-minute refactors to this templating engine that we have on our front end, and I said, yes, I need to be able to do this, because I have a particular thing I want to be able to do, and I can't do it yet, so what do I need to do to accomplish this particular goal? My thing in question was, I have a particular repeat operator of my templating engine, and I wanted to make it possible to repeat a child element of the repeat item instead of the element itself. And that threw a couple of wrenches in the design. So around 4:30, 4:45, we settled on how we wanted to design it and started bashing out the gist of that, identified what all the issues were, and said, okay, great, I know exactly what needs to be implemented now to be able to finish this. By then, it was already 6 o'clock. Came back home, started making dinner and everything else, and here we are, 7:30, 7:45, just now finally finished with everything, getting ready. So that extra hour and a half, just from a sudden last-minute refactor, oof. Yeah, that tends to be pretty normal for me. I've been trying to avoid getting too much of that in the past. I want to say 6 months, but yeah, it definitely still happens, and it did happen today. It's probably going to happen a couple more times in the future. Sometimes I get out at 4 or 5 o'clock. Sometimes I get out at 8 or 9 o'clock. Sometimes I get in at 6 or 7. It varies a little bit in exactly when I need to get in and when I get to go. And you only ever really know at the last minute when you're leaving if you're ready or not to leave. Fun little thing there. But those are the responsibilities of management. So it's all good. It works out. But just occasionally this happens, which is why I usually do not try to maintain a schedule, because more often than not, the majority of days, who knows what's going to happen. I might get here at 6, I might get here at 9. There's only one way to find out, and that's last minute. But this week was mostly good. I may have scheduled more days than I probably should have, because I realized, oof, my voice is going, everything is collapsing, and I got a whole bunch of things I still need to do that I haven't been able to do because I didn't schedule time to do them. Things that came up in the middle of the week that I didn't make time for before the week started. So I have learned my lesson. Maybe. Lesson learned, do what Nigiri does and take a day off in the middle of the week so that you actually have time to catch up on stuff. Oh boy, that's understandable. The factors that play in, yeah, for real. How you doing, man? Anything fun lately? Any new activities? I know a couple of games have just recently come up on the horizon, like Throne of Liberty or Stranova. I've seen a whole bunch of posts across different streams and across the Bird app and Discord about Stranova in particular, if you do shooters, since it's an anime 2D, 3D combined sort of mix and match shooter, which seems kind of interesting. And then, of course, Throne and Liberty just came out in the last about week or so. And that's a largely PvP MMO, and all sorts of other games have been coming out, like Silent Hill 2 remake. There is the, what is it? Underdark? No, that's not what it's called. A remake of another spooky game that came out recently. First word starts with a U, I think, but I can't remember the name exactly anymore. Darn. It just does not come to mind. That is unfortunate. A whole bunch of things have come up recently. Well, I'm messing with RPG developer bacon. Just waiting on some assets from a game that's ending soon to you. There's also a lot of very interesting assets that are already out there and available for use that you can use either as placeholder assets or otherwise while you get things together for the assets that you want to use long term. In fact, creating or making some placeholder assets that are along the lines of what you want, but not necessarily exactly what you want. It's like 20% of the effort for 80% of the result, is a very common thing that we'll do for saying, here's the feel of it and generally what we want to do. Here's the sketch. And then you get all of that 80-20 built out all across the board and say, now that that's in place, does it blend? I mean, does it hold up? Very good concept testing to say, let's try a whole bunch of things without necessarily burning all the time to do it. Well, there is, but specific characters from the game that's closing up that I plan to use and edit them. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like say, hey, this is a concept I like, this is a concept I like. Let's follow up on that and say, I like this. Let's actually pull it back to life again, since this isn't going to be around anymore. Let's maintain its legacy. That sounds pretty neat. I would be looking forward to checking that out, since that sounds right up my alley in terms of, well, hey, 1, game dev. 2, fun stuff. I love checking out that kind of stuff that friends are putting together, from music to art to software, video games, you name it. I mean, video games are software that combines music and art and story and everything. It is an art form on its own. Hey, I do have the, what do you call it? Better TTV, BTTV emotes on here. I didn't remember if I actually included them or not. Nice. Why did I just zoom out to Narnia? Hello again. I don't know what oh, I know what happened. I scrolled over a chat and used my scroll wheel, and it zoomed me out to Narnia. There we go. Now that I'm back, let's just do a click over here so I can tell. But yeah, I've been messing a lot with AI music generation as well as Suno. What is Suno? I haven't heard of... Actually, have I heard of that one? It sounds vaguely familiar. Oh, okay. Yeah. A buddy of mine was actually using some of these systems for putting together tracks to listen to at work, as well as just playing with them at home to say, oh, this is neat. Of course, I wind up just putting together most of my stuff myself. And then look around and listen to a bunch of little track to say, oh. So I'm like, hey, that's a progression that I like. Let me go ahead and work that in. I really like that one. I see how I can fit it into the thing that I'm working on. But that's only because I have the resources to be able to do music production for background and vocals and all the things. It's kind of a pega because sometimes it'll give small snippets, which I need to try and have the program extended, and then use other apps to clip the music together. Yeah, like Ableton Live or any other DAW that you happen to have available to pull all these together, whether it be for synthing or straight up recording and mixing or otherwise. Definitely a DAW helps with a lot of that by a ton. It's so hard to pull these together otherwise without it. I mean, you could probably do it with, I guess you could call GarageBand DAW. Or just take Audacity. That's a lightweight one for pulling these things together, but it can be pretty hard without a good dedicated tool for the job. Yeah, I hear that. I gotta say, here, let's get all these 17 different things and now try to actually combine them and mix them appropriately and then clip and repeat and whoo! But It is a fun little task, at least in my opinion, but maybe I'm weird. Because apparently I like work or something. After all, this guy was in the office for way too long today. And that's just how it goes. Yep, try and get lucky. I mean, that's what happened with Minecraft, right? Just took a step in the dark, and it happened to work out. And now 12, 15 years later, 15, 2009, 2024, yeah. 25 years later, we've got a Minecraft movie coming up. No, not 25 years, 15 years later. Yeah, we got a Minecraft movie coming up. And I mean, it doesn't mean that the Minecraft movie is necessarily good, but still, man got lucky. Pulling together some interesting stuff and said, you know what? I can do pixels. Let's do 16 by 16 pixels and see how this works out. And keep it low effort. Go for it. And now they're never going to be able to get away from that. If they were to make Minecraft not pixelated, they would probably run into danger. Even for all the people that do like the 2048 pixel high resolution texture packs and whatnot, it just wouldn't sell on its own as the base game anymore. Oh gosh, no. The next DBZ and the first Avatar Airbender. There wasn't a first Avatar Airbender movie. What are you talking about? There was never one. Nope, that didn't exist. Unless you're talking about the blue people. That's the only Avatar movie that exists. The blue people Pocahontas. Yeah. My fingers are crossed that the Minecraft movie actually turns out good. For as weird as it seems, that maybe they're actually doing things right, and how it comes together is pretty decent. Because, I mean, they pulled off the combination of animated and non-animated in the revised Sonic movie pretty well. So it might be possible to pull it off with a Minecraft movie. Or, well, Mario was entirely animated this time, I think, if I remember correctly. Unlike the old Mario movie that we watched recently together. Oh, that was fun. Goomba. I haven't forgotten that. Man, I don't know where he found that. That was ridiculous. That was a time. Same producers? Good question. Probably not. But they did at least prove that it's possible. So, I am curious. Who produced the new Sonic movie? And who's producing the new Minecraft movie? The Sonic the Hedgehog film. This is 2013, 2018, Paramount. And then the Minecraft movie is through Warner Bros? Is that right? I mean, they got the animation right. And the combination of animation and live action, that is a good mesh. Question is, can it hold up for how it actually works as a film? Is curious. That could go over well. Let's see, that one is by Neil H. Maurice. And this one is... yeah, those are very, very different in terms of producers and directors and everything else. Fingers crossed, because it could turn out pretty well. But, I mean, you know, we won't know until we know. It could actually be pretty good. I'm not going to naysay, but it at least doesn't sound good that there's been a lot of controversial talk about it. But oh well. Lou, good evening. Good evening, friend. Welcome on in. How are you, Lou? Pun intended. Pun intended. Hello. Ooh, another piano song. I need to go check that out. I'm probably going to wind up getting the ads, but you know what? It's fine. I appreciate it, friend. Where did I put all my stuff? I am lost, and I managed to actually kill my tracking at the same time when I got lost. It's from Daily Mix of Lo-Fi. Ooh, that's exciting. I need to get a better position for my camera mount. Maybe if I... Yeah, that would work. That would work. Notes to self for PostStrim. Open up a notepad. Windows can't find TE-pad. Good job, Tex. Move camera mount for better angle. Okay, note taken. Sadly, I had to disable the clip playing from my shout out command, since that is presently sort of borked with Twitch's recent changes to the clip API. I realized, oh, so this is why my clips aren't playing anymore. The Twitch API for how that works actually got changed, and things have moved around. Okay, well, I'm going to have to ditch that for now until I can either rewrite the API myself, or wait for someone else to actually go through and update it for other people to use it. So there's a chance I could wind up having it before everyone else in the market. But at the same time, there's other things I could do with my time. You know? Plenty of other things I do need to do. So I'll probably let the others who are interested in that work on it and get some sort of clip system out there so that you can actually load these Twitch clips even with the new API changes, instead of everything just dying every time. So for now, it just does a nice little shout out and announcement. As an example of that, is that still running? Yes, it is. This is what it now looks like. It sends the announcement message as well as the original Twitch shoutout simultaneously, so that all that gets connected together and sent up at the same time for a pretty reasonable display of it. Oh, speaking of Twitch, isn't there a new dumb thing they got against chibi VTubers? It's not a new thing, but it was repeated recently, and so a lot of people think it is a new thing. But yeah, that is a thing, and it's continues to be a thing. And it's definitely on the spotlight right now. A small sad note was stressed out earlier because you wrote a check wrong, then tried to rewrite it, and tore it out badly and had to rewrite the check. Aww. Sadness. Sadness. Pat, pat, pat. As far as checks go, there are a bunch of people, even my coworkers and friends included, that don't actually know how to write checks. Are Lou and I just old? Are we the only ones that actually still use checkbooks? Like, for any maintenance that I do, etc., I actually tend to prefer paying with most things with checks, so I'll write up my checks, and I use those fairly frequently. But I know a lot of people that don't use checks or don't know how to actually fill in a check. Like, whenever my twin needs to write a check, I have to help them with it. Or at least I used to have to help them with it. I hope that they've been doing all right with it. I don't use it unless I need to. I know how, just bad at remembering how to write them down when they are the same checks time after time. Therapist only takes checks. That makes sense. I guess I'm the old one here. Oof. Oof. Oh well. Oh well. Better be discounted. Maybe. I mean, if someone's good, someone is good. And that makes it worth. Years ago, there was someone that actually went and regularly visited, like every week, every 2 weeks, over in Nashville, back when I lived in the Kentucky region. So I'd actually drive from Kentucky over to Nashville, since I was about halfway between Nashville and Louisville back then. Yes, I did say Louisville. I'm a Yank with a little bit of a Southern teaching, so it's not Louisville. But yes, that was a good thing. I decided that myself one year at Christmas when it was really bad. That helped. But they were good. They were good. And yeah, I did have to write checks for all of those. So, I did have to remember back then how to do the checks, but I do not regret one bit. And since then, life's just been I was about to say a hurricane. I don't know why life is like a hurricane came to mind, but considering I live on the Texas coast and we get hurricanes nonstop, I don't know where that came from, but it's hit us plenty of times. Harvey, Laura, Irma, all of the others. I did this to myself. I don't know how I did this to myself, but I did this to myself. And you can just see me facepalming over and over again. Hurricanes aren't fun, y'all. For anyone that's being affected for them or has been affected by them recently, take care because, oh my goodness, they can be ridiculous. I experience it personally way too frequently. Definitely take care. But yeah, that happened. That happened. So that's probably a good time to do an interlude and switch into The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. I was visiting the Gulf in Biloxi? What's the correct way to say that? Mississippi. A couple of days before Katrina. Woof! And my family and I were racing the hurricane up the Mississippi River to get to Tennessee. We were a day ahead of it. Biloxi. Okay. Did y'all run into issues with gas constantly being out? That tends to be the case with what happens when you're trying to leave a hurricane. People get stranded because there's no more gas left. Hopefully that didn't happen to you. Not gas, but food and drinks. So food and drink was gone. But yeah, water usually goes really quickly when a hurricane's on the way. And food, yeah, that makes sense. I'm surprised that there was still gas left. since that's definitely one that goes. When we got back to Tennessee, everyone was just getting toilet paper and water. So it was fine. Man, y'all remember when it was super hard to get toilet paper and water for like, 6 months? Yeah. Yeah. The recent toilet paper from the port strike was funny. Wait, what? Toilet paper from the port strike. Oh, man. Maybe I'm glad I missed that. Well, interesting. Oh, that's actually pretty amusing. Okay, I follow. Wait, did it just do the thing again? No, it didn't. My chat just derped. Okay. Yeah. Gonna go back to grading. Good luck with the grading, Lou. Good luck. You're gonna wipe it out in no time. I'm gonna wipe it out in absolutely no time. And then you sit back and say, I need to play Demonologist. Oh yeah, the port strike in Boston, people panic, mass hoarded toilet paper. Ooh. It's time to make one of those kid forts out of nothing but excess toilet paper that you bought up. Or, actually distribute it to people that need it, but that would require that people be reasonable. When have people ever been reasonable? If they're not being reasonable, the least they could do is make a kid fort out of blankets and toilet paper. Well, the funny part was some tried to return it, but they couldn't. No, really? Of course you're not going to. It was all bought out. You can't accept everything back all at once when everyone tries to return it all at the same time. That would cause a collapse. If you go out there and buy everything, you're probably going to have to scalp it and resell it. Because you're not going to be able to give it back to stores. They can't give you refunds for all the stuff. The money transactions have already happened, and the money has already been spent onto elsewhere. That's corporate. Man, that's actually kind of sad, but also kind of amusing. Oof to anyone who had that happen unintentionally, but also, man, rice, dry goods, and a handful of other things as well. But ooh, the dry goods and the rice will keep. That's stuff that you can actually just keep around and actually use next time you need it, or send it over to the people who were affected by the hurricane over in not California, other side of the United States of America. Other sea, Carolina. Why could I not think of the name? I have family over there. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, to be honest. Keep it there for next time because you're stocked. It doesn't happen too often in Boston, but still. And then you could also sell it for release efforts to places that are actually trying to support people who don't have it right now. So there are options. But yeah, whew. Okay, let's probably actually turn the switch on so I can do the no pun intended, but do the switch. There we go. Yeah, that's right. And then I can, wait, where did my sound mixer, huh? I didn't keep the mixer open. There we go. That's better. Now I can turn the music down in my ears. And in your ears. That's better. Because now we can fade. Too bad I don't actually get a volume control on the thing itself. That would be nice. That's a rough part, because supposedly, since that four-letter agency who's claiming they're trying to do stuff to help, but it seems like they're actually preventing any help. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely does happen. But you can find ones that do actually do good. And then get connected with them and make things happen. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are just in it for the money, and that's going to happen no matter where you go. And you can't prevent it. All you can do is a lot of constantly working to identify it and then redistribute. Unfortunately. Oh, where is the thing? Yes, that's over here. So, I can move the thingy. I'll DM you the stuff. Enough of that here. Yeah, well. It's not that far off. Since that's... Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Could actually, pretty quickly. But yeah, definitely hit me up. You know, I'm pretty much always down to chat about whatever. Oh, right, we have the quicksand proof. But now that we're actually home again, we can indulge in more of the addiction. I mean, in more of the fun times. Yeah, that's what this is. It's not an addiction. Nope, not at all. I didn't mean to accidentally have turn things off. So where were we last time? I think. Oh yeah, that's what happened. Last time we were in Zelda, we took the volcano region of Echoes of Wisdom, one of 3 of our new goal here. Oh, that's where the other one that we want to tackle is. Okay. We took the Elden Volcano region, one of 3 of Act 2, and we knocked that out. We have left the Foreign Woodlands and the Holy Mount Lanairu, which is marked as Hebra Mountain, but then discussed as Holy Mount Lanairu, which is mildly confusing. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. But on the way there, we discovered a little log where there is an imposter in the mix. So we're on our side quest to identify the imposter with broken armor. We haven't found them yet, but we're hoping to find them pretty soon. Is it you? We also wanted to come over here and ask about the monsters. Who's the one over at the Gerudo Desert? Giant centipede monsters appearing. One in particular on a rampage, the Gerudo keep talking about it. I'm pretty sure we already took care of it. I think we've already taken care of 2 of them. Big one over at Elden. Strange noises coming into the volcano. Darston is also looking into the matter. And Jabul Waters. A vicious monster has surfaced. Ooh, from Seaside Village. It zips and zaps. Oh, we know what that is. Now, question is, where... Aw, we can't go back down there anymore. What are these pictures of? Huh. I wonder what... They must just be, different old paintings of kings from this particular game? Yeah. So we are still trying to find the imposter. We haven't quite identified them yet. In fact, I'm at a loss as to how to find one with broken armor. But it's amusing enough. Oh, hey, we can jump over that. I was curious about that a while ago, but now we're... Oh, there's a thing up there. Hold up just 1 second here. The Spanish Inquisition. Hey, up. Hey, up. That's what I gotta be looking for here. Nobody expects the Soldier Inquisition. Yay, more my crystals. Ooh, bored. And it just flies off. Nope. I got turned down by the bird. I guess this time the bird is not the word. We have been rejected. Sadness. Now, how are we going to find this soldier? Maybe you know something. If only it heard. You should take a nap if you get tired. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Now, where are we going to find one with broken armor? There isn't a soldier in here. I feel like I've already searched every house, but I haven't seen one inside or outside with broken armor. Is that open? No, that is closed. Oh, you have... I want a stone anklet. Reduces knockback. More equipments. Now, what do you put in there if I come back? Is it a new item? It is a purple. What do be? Rod of yours looks unusual. Well, you can't buy it. It was, specially made. Just for me. So, sorry. Oh, I do want to re-enable those, since I have enabled the thing earlier. Yes. That's better. Whoa. Did the noise suppression actually make it go in the opposite direction? That went all the way up to like 0 on my decibel marker. Okay, so you've replaced your broken set. Now, do they have anything to say about it? I did not see a soldier with broken armor. What do you mean? Near the fountain. The armor. Can I just guess all of them? So well, fountain or barracks are the only options. Huh? And the options are lance, armor, or helmet. Well, fountain, and barracks. Oh, it is this guy. Near the well, his lance is broken. I now know how to tell. Based on the questions, the options. Near the well, the lance is broken. Huh? General Wright? What are you doing here? Princess Zelda, I wasn't expecting you here. To what do we owe the pleasure? General Wright, sir, I asked the princess to aid in my investigation, and we found the culprit. Is that so? Well, with her discerning eye, it's no wonder our princess would be able to... You what? By whose authority did you trouble the princess with this? Not mine, that's for sure. Sorry. After searching for the echo for a while, I got paranoid. I didn't know who else to trust. I can just see just how the task would have one jumping at shadows. Your Highness, I expressly did not want to burden you with this, but it seems we needed your help in the end. Deepest apologies. Beecher, you said you pinpointed the echo? Bring them here. Yes, sir. Well, this is shaping up interesting. Here's the culprit. Howdy do. Nice to... Well, hold on. What do you mean, culprit? The damaged lance proves it. You stole the equipment and printed it to the soldier. Why? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I told you. It's not an echo, it's a civilian. I just saw how much the soldiers help people out around here. It made me want to be one of you, so I pretended I was. Excuse me? That was why? See, I was visiting my buddy in Castletown when the rift popped up. I was so scared. I couldn't move, so he wasn't a civilian. He's from out of town. But then a soldier came up and saved my hide. It made me feel so, you know, safe. And I realized that I want to be that guy. The guy who makes people feel safe. I understand, but, well, how should I put this? You've got the makings of a soldier! Pardon, sir? It's true that you should not have pretended to be a soldier. That can damage people's trust on us. Oh, geez, I didn't think about that. So not what I meant to do. That said, your enthusiasm for helping others, your unyielding resolve, both essential traits for a protector of Hyrule. What's your name, son? My name's Capnut. If you truly are set on becoming a soldier, Capnut, I can discuss it with the King of Hyrule. What? You mean it? That'd be awesome. I mean, thank you, sir. General Wright, with all due respect, he's totally untrained, totally untested. Beecher, please. Training and experience are gained easily. Spirit is not. Besides, if he could evade the attention of veteran soldiers, the boy must have some skill. That's not to say he'll have it easy. I'll give him even more training drills than the rest of you.